Okay, so I apologize for the video, but I wanted to make this video for Ajax's owners, and talk about, what's going on. So right now, just observing him, he's completely ignoring me. So we have to be clear. If you walk this dog when he's completely ignoring you, yeah, he's gonna react. Yeah, he's gonna do something because he doesn't have to do anything else. So this is the type of dog that I'm going to be very clear with him when I very first have him out. That's 100% not okay. You've already told me in many different ways that you can't handle that you can't handle doing your own thing essentially around all these distractions. When we're around all these distractions, you either have to be chilling or you have to be working. But you doing your own thing and there just happens to be a leash attached, that's not going to work. So when I walk him here, you'll notice a lot of what I'm doing is just having this conversation with him that you're not doing your own thing. You're in a command right now. So just to be clear, what I'm popping the leash for with him, and once again, I apologize about the camera angle. What I'm popping the leash for is just me sensing, Ajax, that he's forgotten about me. He's not attentive to me. He's not working for me or even working with me. He's just pretty much in his own world, and there happens to be a leash attached. No. Let's go. So how do you know that he's ignoring you? Okay, you say his name, he doesn't look at you. That's the first step. The second step is just how he's responding to the leash. You'll notice I tug on the leash, he doesn't look at me. He's just kind of like, hey, yeah, whatever, dude. I don't want to personify, but it is kind of just it's almost like I tap on the leash and his thing is kind of like, hey, don't bother me. It's almost like a kid watching computer and I tap him on the shoulder and I'm like, hey son, you've got some homework to do. And the kid's just kind of like, oh, okay, mom. And that's the responsiveness I'm kind of getting right now is hey, Ajax, we're in the real world. You've had a problem in the past lunging at people. And he's like, yeah, okay, mom. Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever you said. And I'm like, no, dude. So I am going to correct him in a second because no, that's the thing. He puts his ears start to become erect and he starts staring at something in a fixated manner. That is the first thing that's going to happen before he explodes. Second thing that's going to happen is he puts his fur up. If it's a dog, he puts his fur up. And so putting your fur up, staring at things like that, not allowed. Not allowed. And in all my years of experience, if we can, and we might have to work a little bit with the owners afterwards, if we can clearly correct this behavior or punish this behavior, our life will just be so much easier with Ajax. Ajax is extremely similar to my own dog, M&ET. She's a very, very sweet dog. She could get confused, and she could, if she was left being frustrated over and over again, appear to be very scary, but she's actually a really nice dog. And that's Ajax. He's actually a really nice dog. But what's happened, our attempts to stop things have made them worse. And so that's where we have to be very clear with him. How trainable Ajax is, this dog is so intelligent, there's no reason that he shouldn't be listening to us when we say his name. There's no reason that when we say, Ajax, sit, he doesn't sit. Down, good. Most likely the reason he's not obeying is because he's kind of checked out of work mode. Now, if I have him looking at me and he's all confused, hey there, I'm just training him for the owners. Yeah. He's doing great. He was crazy before. He's come a long way. He's really, really sweet. He just got confused and he started doing crazy stuff. But he's actually a really nice dog. It's like our friend who keeps talking politics. Or just stop. Life's too short. Come on, buddy. Those people had a dog in their car. We talked for a moment. So, yeah, if he's looking up at me and he's really trying, hey, man, I don't understand what you're saying. Well, sure, I'm telling him what to do. Help him out. But if he's not even looking at me Ajax, no. Just stop. So, the takeaway really, I think, is the reason I am typically punishing a dog is because they are doing their own thing when I've asked them to work. Or they have gone from being chill to crazy when they're never allowed to go from chill to crazy. That's not allowed. You can't go from work to doing your own thing without a release. You can't go from chilling and place command to exploding. You know, the other reason I'm correcting a dog or punishing a dog is within that time frame where I say, hey, you can do your own thing. They're deciding to do a certain behavior, like dig in the yard, chase things like crazy, lunge at things. And I'm telling them, hey, when you are doing your own thing, these things are not allowed. You can do your own thing. Break, like right now, I tell them break, I let them smell. Like, you can smell, but you can't lunge at people. You can be in the backyard and smell and check things out, but you can't go charging down every time you see the UPS guy come. Good boy. This in the past would have been a crazy trigger for this guy. Let's go. That's the thing too, you know, if you're popping that prong collar 2 or 3 times and you're doing it right, that you should see an extremely big shift in behavior. And same thing with the remote. If you're going up into the 50s, 60s, 70s in the remote, you should see an extreme shift in behavior if you're doing things right. Now, people are going to say, man, Ajax looks subdued. He looks, yeah, he's being careful. He should be careful. He's doing things before that were going to cause his mom to get hurt. I mean, he was almost pulling his human over. And so it is important that he's cautious. We do need him to be a lot more cautious. I don't think he knew that what he was doing was super dangerous. And, you know, just like me, if I have crashed my car 3 times, you would hope I would be cautious driving the car down the road. You'd hope you would see me driving the car if I've gotten 3 tickets because I keep driving 200 miles an hour. You know, you'd hope you would see me and go, Eric, it's okay, man, you could drive 65. And I go, you know what, man, I'm just going to drive 60 because I know if I drive 65, I can get carried away. Then I can start speeding. Then I can get a ticket. I don't want to get a ticket. So I'm going to do another walk like this with the remote collar with him, though I don't think I'll be able to film and use the remote at the same time because it takes, you know, a hand to hold the leash and a hand to hold the remote. Out of the road. Good boy. Is that the lady from this morning? So you'll notice this whole time I've not been shouting commands at Ajax. This isn't about sit, stay, lay down. There's curiosity, fixation. Don't be fixating on people. Don't be doing that. You're a good boy. You'll notice I haven't really been doing much food. Though at this point I'll do some big food reward for him, no problem. Okay, his food motivation is generally, it could be improved. He does have a little bit of extra weight. That could be shaved off. And if you make him working for food, you make the food very hard to get, I promise you he's going to be very interested in trying to get food. And this obsessiveness over trying to see who's coming on the property or trying to assert himself over dogs, it will be, in a sense, replaced with an obsession of getting food. Dogs like this that have an obsessive nature, I will not ever be able to describe how much of a shift you'll see in behavior if you can get them to be obsessed with food. Now that takes existential feeding, that may take box feeding, it takes time. But if you can do it, I've never seen a case where having the dog obsessed with food does not produce insane positive results. So although you see me using treats here, typically I'd be using his kibble, but he's had moderate food drive since he's been here. And so I don't think kibble would work right here. And at the risk of offering him kibble and him not wanting it, and then I give him something better, I'm just gonna offer treats. Imperative in the training process with him right now, no one's touching him. I'm not talking to anybody or anything if I feel nervous or I feel like I'm overwhelmed. Now, this is some place, and these types of places, walking dogs here is real easy for me. This is just like me riding a bicycle down a bike path is real easy, okay? But if even here with the skill level that I have and the relationship I have, the biggest indicator that I'm moving into a bad territory is if I start feeling nervous. When I start feeling nervous, that's my indication. Hey, we got to take space. Maybe we got to end before that happens. Good boy, Pumpkin. Nice, good boy. You'll notice he's looking up at me on his own. Of course, big reward. Oh, sorry, sir. Okay. So how many pops have been on this walk, guys? Like 4 times, 5 times I popped the leash. Ajax, come, sit, down. No, down. Good. Nice job, Ajax. Good Pumpkin. Shopping cart coming. Break. Hi there, how you doing? I love your glasses. It's got a John Lennon theme there. Or that's like a... Whoa. Elton John kind of look there. And you'll notice too, like with these reactive dogs, I got to be friendly with people and proactive. I got to really, usually find that person who's minding their own business and start talking to them so the dog can understand, hey, everybody we talk to isn't going to come over and touch you. And hi. I feel like I remember that lady. So he's doing good. Sit. Good. Down. Good boy. Break. Good. Sit. Down. Beautiful. Now, just to be clear, break. His owners did a really good job with his prong collar, really good job with his obedience. When he came back here, it was like he never left. It was actually like we kept working with him because he came back actually better than he left, which is great. Sit. Down. And no, he's not dependent on the prong collar. His obedience in general got really cleaned up. Good job, buddy. Yes. So mom and dad really got to be proud of yourselves with the job you've done with Ajax. This is a hard dog because he needs strong punishments and strong corrections 2 or 3 times in a variety of different contexts to help him understand that those behaviors will never be okay. Okay? A little bit of fixation there. I want to keep him moving. It's good with the gameplay that he's been doing downs for throwing. Now I want to get him walking with us, and then we'll throw the ball so he can feel really good about this position. His downs are obviously feeling really good because we've thrown the ball from that position, and he likes that. Ajax, down. Let's go. Good. But, I think walking with us is where I'd want to have the toy and practice having him, released up to me. Leave it. There's a dog over there. No, let's go. So, no. Let's go. So that was pretty clear earlier, right? I was like, no, let's go. And then he's like, no, I'm going to smell stuff. And I was like, no, you're not. So like I said, it's a hard dog to have because he's so sweet and he really does want to please. So there would be a tendency to go, man, he's confused. I don't want to correct him. He is confused 100%, but he's so confused, it would just be easier to correct him. Let's go. And then be able to spend our time teaching him new stuff and practicing obedience. Good boy. And then to be managing these things. Now realize he's also a hard dog because when he's over threshold, what do I mean? Like when he's explosive, if you don't have the right relationship with him or he's done it enough times with you, you may pop this prong collar as hard as you can and he may be over threshold. We haven't seen that happen with the remote collar. And so it is important to realize with the remote collar, we have a unique opportunity to be very clear. When I say no, remote is at a high level. There's no way you're going to think that this means go harder versus the prong collar. When you have a highly reactive dog, they've been reactive for a long time. Believe it or not, the dog can get so reactive that when you pop on the prong collar, they get more reactive because they've associated when they're aroused. They've had times where they got aroused and then something happened with their neck, the leash tightened and they went even crazier. So they go crazy, you pop the prong collar, they'll go even crazier. I don't know if he's doing that at home or not. Hopefully we're just not even putting him in those situations. That's like something on a hiking trail. Could I do that with him at this point? Sure. But I haven't had the past episodes where he associates the behavior with me in the same way he might with the human. And that's not just you guys. I mean, I've adopted dogs that are doing behaviors with me that they started doing when I got them out of the shelter. Come on, let's go. Nice work. Nice. That dog's hilarious, but a little antagonizing. Good boy. So I'm glad you guys got to see that. Nice. And I will give food for that. Okay, if I punish and I see the dog like do something insanely good, yeah, I'll give food for sure. Leave it. Sit. Down. Let's go. Sit. Down. Let's go. Sit. Down. Let's go. Sit. Down. Break. Yes. So really proud of Ajax here. I'm going to do a little fun obedience session now out here behind my van because we just did some slow stuff. So we just did a lot of slow stuff, not really much food. And we've talked about this. It's important to have those walks. Hey man, like, I'm not paying you food. This is basically a test to see if you could calm down. But I also want to do fast obedience with him. So let me check my time. I'm good on the time. Okay, come on, buddy. Put up. Yeah, sit. Yes. Ah, good boy. Let's go. Nice. Happy guy. Yeah. Good. Sit down. Nice. Great. Yes. Let's go. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Good job. Sit down. Let's go. Sit down. Let's go. Yes. And you can see I can even use the prong collar. Sit. Yes. And give him food afterwards and help him develop a feeling of feeling good. Let's go. Sit. Yes. One of the strangest things, you know, that I never even knew was how important it can be to sit, break, use the prong collar at high levels when the dog's going to do it right and reward them for doing it right. Break. With dogs that have a lot of drive, it is important you practice break with the prong collar at a high level and you give them a high reward so they understand, hey, a high level of pressure on the prong collar can lead to a higher reward. Let's go. Nice. Good boy. Nice. Very nice. Very good. That's a good boy. That's a boy. Let's go. Good, buddy. Good boy. Oh, he's so happy. Good job. Good boy. Good. Sit down. Break. Nice. Now, because this guy tends to be a little of a resource guarder, I might toss food away from me. Break. To create a feeling of good anticipation moving away from me of, hey man, you want to chase something away from me? Chase some food. And hey, I can get you to move away from me because being close to me might create a little bit of resource guarding. Like you might be like, hey, that's my food. She's got my food. Get away from here. And so I was like, no, dude, the food's on the ground. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's all, folks. Great session here with Ajax. Really impressed with his behavior. Sit. Very impressed. Very impressed. Okay, we're gonna end now. This session was about 20 minutes, and that's a long session in high distraction environments. Now, if we weren't having such success, we would have stopped the session, but we had tremendous success. So if you're curious about this video and you want to know the type of stuff I did to get him here, look at my last YouTube videos, slow session, fast session with the remote collar and the leash. And you can follow me also on Instagram, follow the leader K9, and see more of how I have these dogs here every day. So that's just all. I'm feeling really good. Ajax is feeling really good. I'm super proud of him. This is exactly what I was hoping for would happen after taking a break from coming out here. He was a little confused, but once he got into the flow of things, he just was like, yeah, I like this, man. I don't want to be walking around freaking out all the time. Like, I don't want to be walking around on edge thinking I have to protect things when I'm not even that dog. Like, I'm actually a really nice dog. And, you know, just like there were some dogs, if I told them, hey, don't be protective, and that would really stress them out, there are some dogs where just being protective all the time, it is really stressful to them. And that frustration can really run a number on their nervous system. Good boy, huh, buddy? Okay, let's go. So, really proud of this guy. Hope you are too, Mom and Dad. I'll see you then. Take care.